Very good morning. Are you all fine? I hope you are fine and safe. Follow the safety measures. Be safe. Okay, students. Last class we were discussed about light and shadows in lesson 13. Today we are going to discuss in this lesson about reflecting surface, that means images, then difference between image and shadows, and a pinhole camera. Okay, students, now let us see the reflecting surfaces and how the images are formed. Okay, students. Okay. Before we studied the different types of surfaces. Are you remember? Yeah, the surfaces are rough surface and smooth surface, isn't it? What is rough surface? Yeah, a rough surface has bumpy surface, isn't it? That means irregular surface. A rough and bumpy surface. Can you say the example? Yeah, some type of metals, stone and wall. Yeah, are the examples of rough surface. Okay. We say light is reflected when it bounces off a surface. Isn't it? So, the reflection of light by a surface depends on the nature of the surface. A rough and bumpy surface reflects a parallel beam of light incident upon it in different directions. Okay. This is the reason why we cannot see a reflected image on an ordinary rough wall. Okay. Good examples of rough surface are normal paper and a rough wall. This kind of reflection is called diffused reflection. See this. Students, see this picture. See the beam of light is instant and fall on the surface and it is reflected. That means returned back. But returned back rays are called reflected rays. See here, the reflected rays are not parallel like the instant rays. That means first coming from the source of light. Both the rays are not same. Reflected rays are not like parallel rays. It is reflected in different directions. Isn't it? So, we cannot see the reflected image in proper. Okay, are you clear? Now we are going to see how the reflected rays fall on smooth surface. Can you say the example of smooth surface? Yeah, that means mirror or glass, isn't it? A smooth surface reflects a parallel beam of light incident upon it in one direction. Okay, this kind of reflection is called a regular reflection. Okay, see this picture. The incident rays are parallel, same like as the reflected rays. Isn't it? So, the images are clear. Okay, a good example of smooth surface is mirror. When you stand in front of a mirror, you can see yourself in the mirror. This is called your image. Okay. So, do you know how the mirror they are making. A plain mirror is made by depositing a thin silver film on a piece of glass. This layer of silver is protected by a coat of red paint. Okay. This is make the mirror different from glass. Okay. The light rays falls on the glass and gets reflected by the silver foil. So, an image can be seen inside the mirror. Are you clear? See students, we are noticed while seeing ourselves in the mirror, when we lift our right hand, the image in the mirror appears to lift its left hand. This means left-right reversal is called lateral inversion. So what is lateral inversion? When we look upon the mirror, the left and right is changed, isn't it? This seeming left-right reversal is called lateral inversion. Are you clear? Students, now let us learn the difference between the image and shadow. An image is different from a shadow. What are the difference? Let us see now. Image has the color of the object. What about shadow? Shadow is always black regardless of the color of the object. Image gives the details as well as the outline of the object, but shadow gives only the outline of the object. Image undergoes lateral inversion, that means left-right reversal. That is called a lateral inversion. In the case of mirror, already we learned. But what about shadow? Shadow does not undergo lateral inversion. Okay, these are the difference between the image and shadow. Now let us see how to make a pinhole camera and which type of images we get on pinhole camera. A pinhole camera is just a box with a very tiny hole on one of its sides. Okay, light falls on the hole and an inverted image is formed on the side opposite to the hole. Why inverted image? Because we already learned light travel in straight line, isn't it? So, pinhole camera in the center part, isn't it? So, from the image, that means the picture or source of light pass through the pinhole camera on a straight way. That's why upper part will go down inside as a lower part. Lower part shows upper area. So we are getting the inverted image. Okay, now you see the picture. Yeah, the size of the image depends on the distance between the object and the pinhole. If the distance is increased, the size of the image decreases. If the distance is decreased, the size of the image increases. Okay, our human eyes act like a pinhole camera. Okay. Now let us watch a video.
Have you wondered why your reflection as seen in a mirror is clear and sharp while a reflection in water is not so? How do different surfaces change the way an object is reflected? Let us see an activity to observe reflections on different surfaces. We need mirror aluminum foil, laser pointer, whiteboard. Keep the mirror on the table at a small distance from a screen. Flash a beam of light from the laser pointer onto the mirror. Observe the reflection of the beam on the screen. Now keep the aluminum foil in the place of the mirror and focus the beam onto the aluminum foil. And look at the reflected beam now. If you look at the beam reflected from the mirror, the image is sharp and whole, but the reflection from the aluminum foil is more diffused and irregular. The reason for this is that the mirror is perfectly flat, with all points of the mirror surface lying on the same plane. But the aluminum surface is distorted. On a distorted surface, the light rays show irregular reflection or diffusion, and the light rays are reflected in different directions and give a distorted image. Rough, unpolished surfaces give such reflections. Smooth, polished surfaces give a proper reflection as the reflected rays are parallel to one another. Have you seen the magic mirrors that are shown at fairs? Can you explain why the images are so distorted?
Difference between image and shadow. Do you use mirrors at home, children? We use mirror to see our face. The face which we see in a mirror is called as reflection. Mirror shows reflection of object which is placed before it. Example, reflections of trees and buildings are seen in water of a pond or a lake. But what is a shadow? It is a dark area where no light is present, or otherwise, it is just the dark outline of the object. Images and shadows depend upon the position of the light source. Image formed in the mirror is same as that of the object. Colors are seen, whereas color cannot be seen in case of shadows. Observe the reflection. Perform this activity in a dark room. Stand at one end of the room with a torch. Make your friend hold the mirror and stand in the direction opposite to you. Allow a beam of light to fall on the mirror. It reflects the beam of light and falls on the another person. So, the direction of torchlight is changed. Precaution. Children, we can reflect sunlight using mirrors in all the directions possible. But the reflected light should not enter your eyes, as it may burn your eyes.
Pinhole camera is a light-proof box with a small hole on one side. Light from an object passes through this hole and projects an inverted image of the object on the opposite side of the box. Let us learn how to make a pinhole camera. Take a cardboard or a tin box. Cut open a side of the box and paste a tracing paper over it. Pierce a very small hole in the center of the side opposite to the one on which the tracing paper has been pasted. Close the box from all the sides. The pinhole camera is ready to use. Make the pinhole face a lighted object. An image of the object is formed on the tracing paper. The size of the image depends on the following factors. The greater the distance between the screen and the hole, the larger the image. The larger the image, the fainter it is. The larger the distance between the object and the hole, the smaller the image.
Students, I have completed the lesson 13, light, shadows and reflection. I hope you all understood this lesson. If you have any doubts, ask me through online class. That means Google Meet. Okay, students? Thank you, students.